cooperation from the teachers. You know, like I sent
Oh.
out a contact information thing, you know, send me back
Yeah.
some info.
Yeah.
About 5 of them did it, you know.
Oh, geez. Wow, that makes
Yeah.
your job extra hard for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
gosh. So
you know.
what's your age range? What,
6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Here, everybody's here. Okay, thanks. Madam Chair, committee
Hello.
members, we are live, so whenever you'd like to start the meeting, you can go ahead. I think she's got to do it. Okay, we got to do it. Put ask to unmute. What's that? Ask to unmute up there. No, I can't. I did. Okay, Alder Jones, can you
Hello,
hear us?
everyone. Are you unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you now. You're unmuted.
Okay. Thank you. And I see everyone is here. So we will get started. The hour being 6:30, I will now call the Public Works and Service Committee to order. Assistant Commissioner Eek, would you call the roll, please?
Alder Jones,
Present.
Alder Land,
Present.
Alder Levy,
Present.
Alder Santiago,
Present.
and Alder Perez.
Present.
So all present.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda would be the approval of the previous minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Move to approve the minutes. Question, comment, corrections? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposes? Motion passes. First item on the agenda, Mr. Eeg, would you say the item number for me? I am having a little trouble here getting my computer up to pull up the
Yep, Madam
agenda.
Chair.
So if you could read the
Madam
first
Chair.
item for me, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, Madam Chair, it's Commissioner Rooney. I'll go through the agenda items. Just one order of business I'd like to do before we start the meeting is we have someone else in the committee room with us. I'd like to introduce you to Ron Pritzloff. Ron will be the next Assistant Commissioner of Public Works. For those of you who may not know, Tom will be retiring in a few months. Ron joined us 2 weeks ago. He's working concurrently with Tom and the other DPW managers to get up to speed on operations. We're fortunate to have Ron here at the same time we have Tom here and have this overlap for this transition. Ron's no stranger to DPW, City of Racine. He worked in the city engineer's office back in 2007 for about 5 years. Then he went to the city of Oak Creek Water and Wastewater Utilities, where he was a project manager there for several years. In the last several years, he's been at the Village of Mount Pleasant as their Assistant Director of Public Works. So Ron is with us tonight. He'll be with us moving forward, and hopefully you'll get a chance to meet him other than virtually in the near future. So with that, I'll open up with the first item, if that's okay, Alder Jones?
Yes, and I did get my screen up here now. So the first item is 0153-21. Thank you, Commissioner Rooney.
Yeah, that is a communication sponsored by Alder Tate II on behalf of Racine Fire Department requesting to change parking restrictions in the area of Packard Avenue, 1700 block. Madam Chair, committee members, this is a request by Racine Fire Department, I believe by Captain Craig Ford. They had a call for service over there. This is the new Gold Medal Flats development, the building that was repurposed for residential. And they had some difficulty getting their apparatus truck there through there to respond to that call due to parked vehicles. I believe with the agenda packet, we showed some photos of some of the difficulties they had getting through there responding to that call. So after Captain Ford discussed the issue with city engineer, we're requesting some parking changes on Packard Avenue to make sure that this doesn't occur again. Those parking changes would include some changes to Chapter 94, that's the transportation ordinances of the City of Racine Municipal Code. Essentially, we're asking approval to delete a time of day restriction on both sides of Packard Drive between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m., except Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, and replacing that for actually a little bit longer length to no parking at any time on both sides of Packard Avenue. So that is the recommendation of staff. You can open it up for questions, Madam Chair, and I believe Captain Ford is on the phone if you'd like to speak to him as well.
I will open up. Any committee members have any questions? Alder Perez, can you unmute Alder Perez, please?
Yeah, I got it. I have a question. I heard Mr. Rooney talk about Ron, but who is Phil Malkowski, who is on our page there?
Oh, Phil is with the MIS department. He's the one that's helping facilitate the virtual meetings now that we're doing them in Zoom. So he's here to assist in case you have any problems running the meeting virtually.
That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions regarding item 0154-21?
Mary does.
Mary, would you unmute?
Yes, I've been unable to open up my little attachments. Is that the area right by the Gold Medal Lofts? That's the same street that the Gold Medal Lofts is on?
Yeah, it is the street that separates the two buildings that has the pedestrian, like overpass catwalk that connects the two buildings.
Okay,
It's
thank
actually where
you.
they actually have their signage on it. That's that area there where the fire department would like to see the parking restrictions removed entirely so they can easily access that area in case of an emergency.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
And that
E, are
does
you able
lead
to put
to
up?
the new, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. My apology.
That section does lead to off-street parking that was set up for the development as well. So while you won't be able to park there, there are plenty of spaces they have to the south of the building and an adjacent parking lot to the west of the building as well.
Thank you, Mr. Rooney. I was just gonna ask Mr. Eeg if he was able to pull up one of the photos that were included so everyone could see it.
Does this help? Is that within view? Can you see it? Do you not have ability to share anything, Tom, or it's not set up that way?
Not open. They're not open
Oh.
to share, so the best I can do is with the camera.
All right. Well, thank you.
Up there. Yes. Don't know how much that stands out, but you can see the fire truck attempting to turn with the cars parked there. It obviously is not gonna make that turn.
Excuse me, this is Phil. I can probably share the PDF. Give me a second here. How's that looking?
Right now, we don't have,
I don't see any.
Not here.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
It's right there.
Alderland, does that help you out with your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Any further questions from committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Second,
Motion and second to approve item 0154-21. If there are no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposes? Motion passes. The next item is 0156-21. Mr. Eek,
Madam Chair, committee members, this is a communication sponsored by Alder Perez on behalf of Racine Police Department requesting for installation of parking restrictions in the 41 and 4200 block of Graceland Boulevard. This restriction was recommended by Racine Police Department to restrict overnight standing, stopping, and parking in an area of concern by residents and the alder of the district. This is a new entry into the transportation codes for no parking, so the recommendation will be to create a new entry under section F, or Schedule F under 94-141 to create a no stopping, standing, and parking from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on any day, and this would be on Graceland Boulevard, the north side from Indiana Street east, 630 feet essentially back to the dead end. The reason being 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., that appears to be the time that people were hanging out and parked in their vehicles and probably not doing anything that's appropriate that time of the evening. And it also provides, parking in that area, obviously during the daytime hours when that park is used. Police department, I believe the alder of the district thought this was a good compromise to help get that area posted. And we did they did require that it be signed as no stopping or standing in addition to parking, because somebody could simply park there but not leave their vehicle, and so that's why the no stopping or standing is in there as well. With that, I'll turn it back to the committee chair to open it up for questions.
thank you, Commissioner Rooney. Are there any questions from committee members? I see Alder Perez.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Guys, this has been an ongoing concern over the years, and lately there's been a lot more parking, and folks have obviously been in a situation where the neighbors all think it's nefarious because they'll go out and try to take a picture of them or something, and the people immediately drive away. That's why it's a stopping or standing. That way the cops can actually address that when the car is there. It's also a dead-end street, and it's by the park, so a lot of people have used it to engage in other activities. I've had a lot of complaints about drug dealing, people doing other things in the car. So that's the reason that it's slated to go there. It's from the dead-end street, pretty much a block and a half from the dead end to the street, in the street. But I have a question for Mr. Rooney. How does alternate side parking work on that, work on that street?
Well, alternate street side parking, when there is a restriction on one side of the street, let's say it's no parking at any time, they don't have to do alternate street side parking. Obviously, they can stay on their side of the street. However, we do need to do routine maintenance, whether it be leaf collection, street sweeping. We may need to do a pushback plowing operation. We will then post that the day in advance.
Okay.
Say we go out there on a Tuesday, it'll say no parking, Wednesday, on such and such a day or whatever the case may be. And then we'll come by, do our activity. As soon as we're done, we'll pull the signs and allow the people to park back. We treat it just like we do a no parking anytime on one side of the street.
What happens during like a snow event? What can they, What would they do with it in the street? Do they stay on their side of the street, or can they park, depending on the day, on the other side?
Well, in a situation like that, they're allowed to stay on that side. It's very much like, it's a local street, so it's not under the same rules or regulations under a snow emergency where it's a highway arterial collector. There you have to be off the street completely. Otherwise, during snow emergencies, you know, you do have to abide by alternate street side parking until 6 a.m. from when the time the snow emergency is called till 6 a.m. the following morning. So that doesn't really change it in that regard either. Again, if we need to go back there and do a cleanup operation, you know, on, say, the south side of the street where they had some vehicles parked, we'll simply post that. They can move to the other side of the street. It's legal to park there during the day. We'll do a cleanup operation, you know, at that time and address it in that way. And we obviously go through these types of changes at our staff meeting with the Public Works field office, so they know what their duties are maintenance-wise when these types of restrictions are put in place.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further question from committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion, please.
And move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve item 154-21. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposes? Motion passes. The next item is 156-21.
This is a communication sponsored by Alder Jones on behalf of the city engineer submitting change order number 1 to contract 2020005 2020 city resurfacing south side, Payne and Dolan Incorporated contractor. Madam Chair, committee members, we have a change order number 1 on the contract in a deduct amount of $30,635.60 from the funds that are shown on the memo. This change order will bring the revised contract total to $1,089,280.58. This is again a rectifying change order that rectified all the quantities in the bidder's proposal. If you have any particular questions about this change order, Era Molitor can address those.
Thank you. Any questions from committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve item 156-21. If no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion passes. Our next item is 157-21.
Madam Chair, committee members, we have a communication sponsored by Alder Jones on behalf of the city engineer submitting change order number 1 to contract 2020004 2020 city resurfacing north side, Payne and Dolan Incorporated contractor. Madam Chair, committee members, we're submitting change order number 1. Again, this is a rectifying change order on this contract in the amount of $111,250.45. This contract brings the contract total to $987,879.80. We have the funding account shown where the change order will be funded from. If you have any questions, detailed questions about the change order, City Engineer Molitor is here to answer them.
Any questions from committee members? Thank you, Commissioner Rooney. If no questions, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second to approve item 0157-21. If there are no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposes? Motion passes. Our next item is 155-21. Mr. Eek,
Madam Chair, committee
Mr.
members,
Goodman?
we are, that's fine. We have an item sponsored by Elder Jones on behalf of the Department of Public Works submitting final payments on 3 contracts. Contract 202000004, contract 2020005. These are both the ones we just, you just approved rectifying change orders on. And then contract 2020050, which is a roof replacement job at the Racine Heritage Museum. On the first item, contract 2020004, the 2020 City Resurfacing North Side, we are recommending final payment to Payne and Dolan in the amount of $987,879.80.
I think they do them all.
And then thank you, Tom. And then the second item that we have is contract 2020005, 2020 City Resurfacing Southside, Payne and Dolan Incorporated Contractor. The final payment amount is $1,089,280.58. And then the last final payment we have for the committee tonight on this item is for the Racine Heritage Museum roof replacement, Hernandez Roofing LLC. The final payment being in the amount of $150,912.10, and half of those funds to cover the cost of this project will come from Racine County.
Thank you, Mr. Rooney, Commissioner Rooney. Any questions from committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and second to approve item 155-21. If there are no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposes, motion passes. The next item is 0174-21.
Madam Chair, committee members, this is a communication sponsored by Elder Jones on behalf of the Commissioner of Public Works, submitting a proposal for an audit agreement prepared by We Energies for State Project ID 22600870 in the amount of $14,011.93. This is for the reconstruction of State Trunk Highway 11 from Kearney Avenue to South Memorial Drive. Madam Chair, committee members, per WISDOT, We Energies has costs that are compensable per our state municipal agreement related to the relocation of their utility that is required in this phase of the project. The reimbursable amount of this agreement is $14,011.93, which will be paid for out of municipal funds. The recommendation is for the Commissioner of Public Works that he be authorized and directed to sign the agreement, and funding is available in the account as shown on the memo.
Thank you, Commissioner Rooney. Any questions from staff? Not staff, excuse me, committee members. If not, I will entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been motion and second to approve item 0174-21. If there are no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposes, motion passes. Our next item is 0175-21.
Madam Chair, committee members, the communication sponsored by Alder Jones on behalf of the Commissioner of Public Works, submitting amendment number 6 to State Project ID 27030002, a West 6th Street Bridge. This is for our design contract with Ayers Associates. You should have a memo. There is a long laundry list of about 16 items that needed to be addressed in relation to the design aspects of the project. Several items dealing with water and wastewater, a relocation of their utilities, dealing with permitting for a queen snake. It's a species that the DNR needs us to be mindful of in the project. coordination, again, with the water wastewater utilities for water main relocation, additional of a barrier wall, changes to the design contract because of changes that the DOT requires for vertical face curb and gutter. There's a design justification for some site distance concerns on Horlick Park Drive. We had to sign a portage route. As you know, we're going to be closing the river when we dismantle the bridge next winter. So we had to create a portage detour route for those who would be using the river at that time of the year. Curb ramp details that we had to change on the project per WisDOT, changes in software needed, additional saw borings, the temporary causeway that needed to be installed. And then we had to work with DNR on some changes to the in-stream work restrictions as it relates to the steelhead facilities and spawning and harvesting for Chinook king salmon. And working with the city on the draft zoning variants for temporary causeway impacts on upstream flooding. And then some additional work assisting the city in preparing change management proposal for additional funding for the project, adding a mandatory pre-bid meeting for the contract, and all of this will not change the project completion date, which is still scheduled for December 31st, 2022. Amendment number 6 is a not to exceed amount of $48,452.09, with the city share being 20%, $9,690.42. As you can see in the memo, we had 5 separate amendments that were approved prior to this. Funding is available in the budget for this work. So if the committee agrees, the appropriate action would be to approve the amendment and authorize the mayor and city clerk to enter into the agreement.
Thank you. Any questions from committee members? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Can I get a second? Motion and second to approve item 0175-21. If there are no further questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Motion passes. Our final item is 0176-21.
Madam Chair, committee members, communication sponsored by Alderman Jones on behalf of the Assistant Commissioner of Public Works, wishing to amend Resolution 0056-21 dated 2/2/2021. Tom, do you want to take this one?
Yes, real quick. We brought these before you last time. The top of the picture showed 1500 Junction, so we put that in the committee report. What Michael Sines actually had was 1510 Junction. That's the property of, that's getting the sign. So we're asking that resolution be amended to show 1510 Junction Avenue. The same pertains to resolution 0121-21. It showed 522 Fifth Street. It should have been 222 Fifth Street. So again, ask that that one also be amended to show the appropriate addresses.
Thank you, Mr. Eek. Any questions from committee members? Mr. Eek, did you want to say something else?
No, I had nothing else on it.
Okay, thank you. If no further questions or comments, I will entertain a motion, please.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion and second to approve item 176-21. If there are no questions, comments, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposes? Motion passes. That exhausts our agenda for this evening.
Thank you.
Move
Thank you,
to
Madam
adjourn.
Chair. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank
And
Have a good
everyone
evening.
have a good evening.
You as well.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Ron, and congratulations,
Yes,
Tom.
welcome, Ron.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Definitely. Very exciting for you both.
Have a good night, everyone.
You
Good
too.
night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.